These are the materials I'm going to be making use of. I have my scissors, my chalk, my tape. I also have my pins here. I have my ruler, and I also have this Aso Oke. I don't know, but I think it's called Aso Oke, Aso Oke. And I have this Ankara fabric here that I'm going to be making use of. So you will need all these materials here, including your pins. All right, so make sure your pins are close to you while making this dress. So let's just go ahead and open it up and then fold this into two. So guys, you're going to first fold your fabric into two. So the fabric I'm using is very hard to identify where the back and the front is because it's 100% cotton, but I was able to figure this out. So what I'm doing here is first folding this into two. You can see how I'm folding it. Just pay attention. Just go ahead and fold this way. While you fold, do well to measure to be sure that the fold you have is okay, like it's exactly the length you are working with. The length I'm working with is 56 inches, but I'm going to add 2 inches to it, making it 58, and that 2 inches is going to be my folding allowance at the end of the dress. Hope you understand. So while you fold, make sure you take measurement to be sure that you have your exact length. All right, so that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm going to confirm, and once I get to the exact length that I want, I will just use my scissors and cut out the rest. So guys, I've gotten the length I'm working with, and please take note that this part is folded. All right, so make sure you first fold it this way, and then we are going to go ahead and fold it again into 4. That way you'll be cutting both the back and the front together. So I want to cut the back and the front together, and that's why I folded it this way. So I have like the front and the back folded this way. All right, I hope you understand. So when you want to cut the front and the back, just fold it this way. This part is going to serve as the back, our center back, and the center front, and this is going to be our opening, like for the sleeve. All right, so now that I'm done, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and iron this out. Most especially for this kind of design we are trying to recreate on this dress, you will need to iron your fabric. So go ahead and iron it out. Once you're done ironing, next you're going to take your necklines. So we are going to come to the center part here. I'm just going to take my neckline along these areas here. So from the shoulder, I'm going to come down by 2 inches for my neck depth, and I'll go in by 4 inches for the neck width, and then I'm going to use my ruler to connect this. So this is going to serve as our back neck depth. So go ahead and connect it just like so. Now once you're done with this, the next thing you are going to do now is from the Upper part again, I'm going to take my neck width for the front. So for the front neck width, I'm going to come down by 6 inches and I'll connect from the shoulder down to that point to give me my V neckline. All right, so connect it just like this. And once you're done with this, the next thing you're going to do is to take half of your shoulder measurement. All right, so to take half of your shoulder measurement, you are still going to place your tape from the center part here and you are going to mark it out. Half of my shoulder is 7.5. I'm going to mark it here, and from that point I'm going to now mark how long I want, like my sleeve length, how long you want your sleeve to be. So I'll connect it here, and from that point as well, I'm going to go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. All right, so from this point, come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slope, connect it back to the neck width. So I'm going to use my straight ruler and then connect this line back to my neck width just like this. So go ahead and use your straight ruler, and once you're done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is to take how wide I want my sleeve to be. How wide you want your sleeve to be. So if you want it to be 10 inches, 9 inches, 8 inches, it is totally up to you. All right, so I want mine to be 11 inches. So from the shoulder line, I'm going to come down to 11 inches. I'll mark it here, and after then I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect from the shoulder area down to that point. Next, I'll come to the shoulder areas here again, and I'm going to measure from the shoulder down to my hip depth. All right, so shoulder to hip is 29 for me, and I will just connect a straight line across. So go ahead, place your tape from the shoulder area and mark your hip line. All right, and connect it with a straight line just like so. Once you're done with that, the next thing to do is to take your round hip divided by 4. So take your round hip divided by 4. You are going to come to the hip line and you're going to impute that measurement here. So my round hip divided by 4 is 10.5. I'm going to go ahead and mark 10.5 along these areas here. This is me trying to make sure that this is very visible so you guys can understand what we are doing here. So from the center again, I'm going to mark 10.5. All right, and I will add 5 inches to this because this is a bubu dress and it has to be very free. So I added 5 inches. You can decide to make use of 3 inches, 4 inches, or even you can even decide to add more extra inches to it. So now that I'm done with this, the next thing I'm going to do now is to come in from this sleeve area here. I'll go in by about 2 inches and I'll connect a curve. So connect a curve from here down to your hip line. All right, so I'll connect a curve from that point down to my hip line, and I'm going to be using my straight ruler. I hope you understand. So from this point here, connect a straight line to meet your hip line just like this. All right, and you're going to make curve here. So you're going to connect a curve just like this down to that area. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're now going to take this line down to the full length of your dress. You're going to take it down to the full length of your dress. But before then, I'm going to measure what I have here. I'll measure what I have along the hip line here. I'll measure it. So whatever I have, I'm going to now take it down. I'm going to take it down. I'll come down to this point and mark it here. I'll also come down to this other area here and also mark it here. This is to enable me have like a straight line. All right, so go ahead and connect it like that and then connect a straight line to the end of the dress. Once I'm done connecting, I'll just go ahead and cut this out. Now, before you cut this out, if you want to attach pockets to this dress, this is the right time to do so. I totally forgot to do this, but I later added pockets to it, which I'm going to show you guys shortly. Now, I cut the neckline and the shoulder line. On the shoulder line, I gave about half inch for the stitching allowance, and for the back neckline, I made sure to cut out the back neckline first. Alright, so when you want to cut out the back neckline first. So I'm just going to cut away through this line till it gets to the end. So to cut out the front neckline, you are going to first remove the back pieces. And to do that, you first lift up your front pieces. This other one is going to serve as the front, and you're going to pull out this one here. So I will just bring out one of it from inside. So you're going to bring it, that one is going to serve as the back, while this is going to serve as the front. So go ahead and make sure you arrange this very well. Alright, so go ahead and arrange this very well before you cut out the front neckline. So I'm going to now use my scissors to just trace out this part here. Make sure you're placing this correctly, and you're going to go ahead, cut this out by tracing out these areas here. I'll just go ahead and cut it off. So this is what I have, and I'm just going to go ahead and open this up so you can see what it looks like. So separate the back from the front, keep it aside, and then open it up this way. Can you see how beautiful this neckline is looking? Next, we are going to cut out facing for the front neckline and also for the back neckline. To cut out facing for your front neckline, go ahead and bring another pieces of fabric that is already folded. All right, so this one here is folded into two. Can you see? So it's folded into two this way. All right, you're going to now pick your pieces and place them. Pick the front pieces, your front fabric, place them, the part that is folded, place it on the part that is folded on your pieces. All right, now these pieces I have here is not very big, like it's very small, so I just had to manage what I have. So I placed it there. I made sure that they're both aligned. So the next thing I'm going to do is to use my scissors and just trace this out. So if you don't know how to cut out facing, this is just the simplest way you can do that. Okay, so go ahead and trace it out just like this. So now that I'm done tracing this out, I'm also going to trace it out on the shoulder area here, but this time you're going to make this very short, like it's not going to get to the length of your sleeve. So once you've done that, I'm just going to go ahead and trace out this part here. I just want to make a little curve around this area, just like this. Go ahead and curve it this way. When you open it up, you have something looking like this. All right, so this is how it looks. Now you're going to place it on your fabric, and it's going to be right side facing the wrong side, or the wrong side of your pieces is facing the right side of your fabric. So this is it here. This is how to place it. Make sure that the wrong side is facing the right side of your fabric, just like this. All right, you can go ahead and pin this down. Now from the beginning of this video, I told you guys to make sure that your pins are close to you, so there's a reason for that. All right, so just go ahead and start pinning it down just like this. I will pin up to the shoulder area. All right, so pin it up to the shoulder area here, and I'm also going to repeat same thing for this other side. I'm going to pin it somewhere around here. All right, so I'll take this to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to go ahead and stitch this down using 1/2 inch of stitching allowance. All right, go ahead and stitch it down using 1/2 inch. Then you're going to turn it over to the back and top stitch towards the lining. Let's just use the center, the pieces as the lining, so you top stitch towards the lining. So everything we did for the front, we're also going to repeat same thing for the back pieces. I'm going to also fold another piece of fabric into 2, just like we did for the front. So I'll pick it again and I'm going to fold it into 2, just like this. All right, so go ahead and fold it into 2 just like this, and then you're now going to place your fabric on top of it this way. All right, so place your fabric on top of it this way and trace it out. Okay, so this is how you're going to do it. Place it this way. Use your scissors to just trace this out. If you don't know how to cut out facing, because I've gotten a lot of messages like, please, how do I cut out facing? This is how you can cut out your facing. Just go ahead and trace it out. I decided not to fast forward this video because I want you guys to learn from this. So go ahead and trace it to the shoulder areas here, just a little. Trace it inward just a little, just like this. Then remove your fabric and then make a curve. All right, just curve it this way, just a little curve, just like this. You can do this with your free hand, just like what I'm doing here. Go ahead and cut it out. So once you've cut this out, when you open it up, you have something looking like this. Now you're also going to bring your fabric and place it wrong side facing the right side of your fabric. Make sure it's wrong side facing the right side of your fabric. You're going to pin it down, take this to your sewing machine and also stitch this down using 1/2 inch. Once you've done that, you're now going to turn it over to the back and then top stitch towards the lining. I told you guys we are going to be using this as the lining. All right, so you're going to top stitch towards. I've stitched down my neck areas and this is what the front looks like. So this right here is what it looks like from the inside. So remember I told you guys to stitch and then top stitch towards your pieces. So this is how it looks from the inside. So when I turn it over to the right side, you can see how beautiful this looks. I also went ahead to make sure I give it a good press, like I use my iron to iron this very well. So I also did same thing for the back pieces as well. I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. For the back, I also did same thing and this is what it looks like. I also make sure I ironed this very well and top stitch towards the lining. All right, so this is what it looks like. And now the next thing we are going to go ahead and do now is to cut out our pocket. Remember I told you guys that if you are cutting this dress, you can decide to cut out your pocket alongside, but I forgot and I just need to add pocket to this dress, so I'll show you how to cut out pocket. So this fabric is folded into 2. All right, so it's folded into 2. I'm going to go ahead and fold it again. This fabric is very hard to actually know where the back and the front is, so I was just taking my time to make sure that it's correct. So I folded it again into 4, and that's because we are going to be cutting out pockets for the 2 sides. All right, the pocket is going to be for 2 sides and all together is going to be 4 pieces. So I just went ahead to place my hand inside, try to see how I can connect a curve. This actually didn't come out very well, but I don't know, if you're trying this, just make sure it comes out very, very well. Now I ran out of fabric. The fabric I had wasn't enough, so that's why it didn't come out very, very well, and it's just very small. If you want yours very big, you can use this method and just make sure it's big. Just cut it out big. All right, so after drafting it, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out along the lines just like this. Try to make it curvy. All right, so just try to make it curvy. Mine is not very deep, but it was a little bit manageable. All right, so I ran out of fabric. If you have enough fabric, make it big and make it very deep. All right, so this is what I have, and I have about 4 pieces, 2 on each side. Okay, So I'll open it up. This is how mine looks. You can see how small it is. Okay, so I have 2 for each side, so altogether making it 4 pieces. So this is how it looks here. I'm going to also bring my fabric and show you guys how you can place this on your fabric and how to join them. So I'll bring my fabric and show you guys. So for the fabric here, I'm just going to place it this way. All right, so place it this way, and on the shoulder area I'll just come down by 17 inches. From your shoulders, go down by 17 inches. I think that's like the standard. Just come down by 17 inches from your shoulder line. All right, so I'll come down from here down to 17 inches. I'll make a point here. Okay, so after then you're going to now come down again by 7 inches. This is like where your hand is going to pass. All right, this is where your hand is going to pass through to your pocket. So you're also going to notch those areas you mark. So notch them this way. All right, so notch it this way, and you're also going to notch this very part. So I'm going to bring 1 pieces for the pocket. I'll bring it this way and I'll place it right side facing each other. So once you've notched, pick one side of your pocket this way and place them right side facing each other. You can already see how my pocket is looking. So when you want to make yours, make sure it's big and make sure that it is very deep. So I will use my pin to secure it this place. So just use your pins to just hold it down. All right, so you come down to make sure you notch it as well. Once you come to this side here, you're also going to pin it down and you're going to notch it as well. So I'll fold it this way and make a notch just like this, and then use my pin to hold it down. All right, hope you can see what I'm doing. I'll use my pin to just hold it down so that it stays firm. All right, till we get to the sewing machine. So I'll repeat same thing for this other side. I'll come towards this side from the shoulder area again. I'm going to go down again by 17 inches just like we did for the other side. From this point I'll come down by 17 inches again. I'll make a point. All right, so come down by 17 inches here. After that, from that point again, you come down by 7 inches. I told you that this is just how wide your pocket is going to be so that your hand can pass through easily. So I'm now going to place another fabric again just like this. I'll pin it down and notch it. So everything I did for the front, I'm also going to repeat same thing for the back pieces. So guys, for the pocket area, once you've pinned down your pocket, you're now going to take it to the sewing machine and first stitch on it with 1/2 inch. Okay, so once you stitch with 1/2 inch, turn it over just like this and top stitch towards the pocket. Okay, so you turn it like this, you top stitch towards the pocket. Make sure you do same thing for this other side here, and also repeat same thing for the back pieces. You stitch and then top stitch towards the pocket. So guys, to get the design in front of our dress, please make sure your pins are close to you. So this is the main reason why I said you should come with your pin, and this is my choice of Aso Oke. So I'm going to show you guys the process how you can achieve that V shape you saw earlier. So please make sure your pins are close to you, because you will need to pin this down while you work on it. Another thing is you are not going to stitch on your lining. All right, so you're not going to stitch on it. The pieces we used to turn out our neckline, you can see how I removed it, but I'm going to fix it in back later. So when I'm about to stitch, I'm going to show you what to do. So this is my choice of Aso Oke. So you're going to bring it up this way. Make sure that it's past like it's out on on your shoulders. Okay, so I had to like take it in so you understand. So this is it here. I'm just going to follow my neckline. Please make sure you pay attention to this part because it's a little bit trickish. All right, so I'll follow my neckline just like this. I'm going to pin it down. Please make sure you pin it down. Okay, so once you follow your neckline this way, you're now going to bring this other part here. Okay, so what you're going to do next is to bring this other side and also place it on the shoulder line again. Can you see? Place it on the shoulder line again just like this. All right, so you can see this is folded, so you pick the both side like this and place it this way. Okay, just make sure you arrange it in a way that your neckline or your material is not visible, like it's not showing along that area. So you pin it. This part here can be a little bit difficult, most especially for a beginner. You just need to take your time. When you are making this, it requires a lot of time and patience. You just need to take your time. It is very simple, and at the same time it is very tricky. All right, so you bring it this way. Okay, while you work on it, make sure you pin. Any area you achieve, just go ahead and pin it down. So you can see I'm just trying to like get this perfectly, so I'll keep pinning it down and arranging this very well. Okay, so I went ahead to remove my pin again because I wasn't okay with what I got. Trying to arrange everything, make sure that everywhere is well arranged, and then take it back again. Can you see? And just make sure that your shoulders are not folding, like it is very straight. Okay, so use your pin now and hold it down. Can you see what I'm doing? So I'll use my pin to secure this part so it doesn't move while I proceed. All right, so this is how it's going to be. Another thing you need to know is one of your ashoke is not supposed to be on top of each other. Now when you get to this point and you want another design after the black, you can see that I have the white design. I'm going to fold in the black to give me this white design in front. Alright, so for you to understand this better again, I decided to like start it all over again. So this is how you are going to place it. Just make sure that you place this following your V neckline, and then do well to pin it down so that you proceed. While you proceed, let it not like start moving and all that. So you're now going to take off this part again. Can you see? You're now going to bring it towards this point and also pin it down. Please pay attention to this part. You're going to pin it down, and then you're now going to take it closer to this neck area because you don't want your fabric to show. So you can see that I have already gotten this black here. Now to get the white, I'm going to fold in the black. All right, so you fold the black inward. Okay, don't be scared, just fold it inward. Fold it inward just like this to give you the white. And like I said, make sure that one is not on top of each other. Once you fold this way, go ahead and do same thing for this other side. You're also going to fold it again just like this. Okay, so if you feel like you're not comfortable, go ahead and pin it down. So you're going to fold it again just like this. All right, so this is it here. I'm just going to go ahead and continue this way. So while you fold it this way, whenever you get to another line, like where you want it to give you another design, you can as well fold in again. So right here, I'm just trying to get my V here on the white. Okay, so I just folded it in again. You can see that the gold is coming towards the line. Can you see? So you just need to fold it in till the white line stops showing and then the gold comes in. I hope you understand. This is very tricky, but you will have a very better result when you follow this process. So you keep folding in your Aso Oke this way, and if you're not comfortable, please make sure you pin it down. Okay, so you can see how I'm trying my best to make sure that it comes out very neat. All right, so it is okay for you to start again to get a better result. Don't be afraid to fold it inward. All right, so fold it inward. So now that I have gotten this part here, I'm going to fold it in, and so that the gold can now come in. Okay, so this is it. I'll fold it in. I can even put my hand on, like inside of it, and then drag it inward. I'll do same thing. Don't worry if this is not straight, we are going to work on that later. So you keep folding until you get a new design, just like what I'm doing here. Can you see? So you can see that we've gotten the gold now. The white is now inside, and at the end of the white you can see how pointed it is. So I'll keep pulling it in, and then to get the gold this way. So I'll bring this inward. All right, to have like a pointy edge around this point. Okay, so you can see I've been able to get my gold, and this is how it's already looking. Like I said, you can pin it down. Okay, so this is it here. This is it. Can you see? It's already coming. It's already looking very beautiful. All right, so this is how it's going to be. I'm really taking my time. I decided not to fast forward this part because I feel like this is where the whole work is. This is where the beauty of your dress comes in. So you just need to like see the whole process. You can see that I didn't even fast forward. I made sure you guys saw the stress like putting in here just to get a better result. So I've used my pin to hold this part down. All right, so I'm also going to do same thing to this other side. I'll use my pin and also hold this part down. All right, and I'll proceed. So the next line there is like, it has like black and white after the gold. I'm going to try my best now to get that line as well. So let me adjust my camera so that it stays firm for you to understand. So I'll keep on doing it this way. All right, so I'll keep adjusting it. Can you see? So that this one here can also come out perfectly. Can you see that? So when you get to this point, you can also decide to hold it down. Just go ahead and secure it again with your pin. All right, so you can see I've gotten that sharp point. I'll just pin it down. All right, and I'll do same thing for this other side. Just go ahead and pin it down. So once I've gotten this, the next line there is the black. Once you've gotten to this area, you will see that like the rest will just follow the line accordingly. Okay, so you can see the black is already taking shape. The rest will just follow the line accordingly, but just use your hands to make sure that you arrange everything very well. So I've gotten the black already, and I'm going to pin it down again. I'll also pin this other side. Okay, so I'll also pin this other side here. Okay, you can see that this other color is already taking shape even without me arranging it. Everything is just falling into place. You can see how beautiful this is looking. It's very simple and at the same time very stressful. All right, so this is why I said your pins are supposed to be close to you. Okay, so your pin needs to be close to you. So you can see I'm just trying to use my hand to like bring them out. Or when you get to this point, continue pulling your Aso Oke inward. Can you see what I'm doing? Push it inward just to have a sharp point that you can just, join together to give you that V. So I'm just pulling it in this way, pull it in this way, just like this. All right, just take your time, do it this way. Once you've gotten what you want, you can also pin it down. So I'll keep pulling it this way. When you get to the bottom of this part, it can be a little bit difficult too, but just try your best. I'm also going to show you how you can cut this out without cutting out your design. Okay, so you keep doing it this way until you've gotten the design. So guys, this is it here. I've been able to pin it down, followed by the black, the white, and the gold. So the next thing we are going to do now is to cut this out. I didn't know that my camera didn't capture this part, but you're going to understand. So I will just bring my scissors and then cut it out. So all right, so you can start cutting from inside. Let me just turn it this way so that you can see how I'm going to cut it out. I believe you can see clearly like this. So to cut out this excess we have here, I'm just going to lift one side of my Aso Oke. All right, I believe you can see what I'm doing here. Forget about any mistake you have, you correct it later. I'll lift it up this way and then cut through. Please be careful so you don't cut your fabric. All right, just cut following the ghetto line you will have along that area. So you are going to continue cutting and make sure you are very careful with your part. You can see how I'm just trying to like get it correctly. All right, so you cut. Okay, when you get to the pointed area, you just cut it out this way. So you're also going to repeat same thing for this other side. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my scissors following this method. All right, so you can see how pointed it came out. So I'll use my scissors now following that same method. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just arranging this and I'll cut it out. All right, so you're going to go ahead and cut it out. Be careful not to cut your fabric. All right, so cut it out gently, just like this, gently, just like this, until you get to this point. So can you see now, this is the only Aso Oke that is left with me. I don't know how I'm going to manage this on the sleeve area as well. I'll try my best, but I don't know yet. Let's just see how it goes. All right, so I'll keep that aside and then concentrate back on this part here. So this is how it's going to be. Now the next thing we are going to do now is I'm going to arrange this part here. That will be later. So the next thing you do now is you're going to now remove all your pins. But before you do that, you're going to first iron out this Aso Oke. Now the reason why you have to iron this is so that you get a ghetto line at the back. Those areas you pin down or those areas you folded to give you this V shape, you are going to iron them out. So you're going to see what I'm doing here. Pay attention. You first iron it out before you remove it, because you remove it and then stitch it on your sewing machine before you bring it back. So for you to be able to stitch it on your sewing machine, you need to iron it out. So I'll bring my iron and make sure I iron out everything. All right, so I'll iron out everything. This is just to give me my ghetto line behind so that I will know where to stitch. So I'll continue ironing all this part here and I'll show you guys what next. So once you're done ironing, just go ahead and remove your pins. Okay, so go ahead and remove all the pins you pinned earlier. Removed everything, and then you're going to now turn it over to the back. All right, so I'm just removing my pins. I'll remove everything and then show you guys what next to do. So next, when you turn it over to the wrong side, you can see this part here, the ghetto line I told you guys earlier. So this is how it's looking. When you are working on this Aso Oke, you know, you actually understand better. So I'm going to place them this way, following that folded part. All right, so when you place it this way, you're now going to go over to your sewing machine and stitch this down with 1/2 inch, following the ghetto line. I hope you understand. When you iron it, I actually have like is it a crisscross line, how do they call it? So you stitch on it. So I've gone ahead to like stitch on it, and I'm going to go ahead and iron this out again. So this is how what I got. All right, so this is how it looks. So you are going to open up all the seams allowance and iron it out. So I'll open them up this way and continue ironing these, and I'm also going to cut out the excess allowance I have here, all right, so that it relaxes perfectly on the dress. So guys, this is it here after I was done ironing it. I also want to show you what next to do. You are going to cut out the excess you have here. Any excess you have here, just go ahead and cut out. This is along the areas where you stitch, please. Along the areas where you stitch, just cut out any excess you have along that area, so that by the time you join this to your fabric, it's not going to be too bulgy at that point. Okay, so you cut it out, repeat same thing for the other side, and iron it out. So guys, you can see how beautiful this looks, right? It came out very beautiful. All right, so if you follow this method, you have a very beautiful design. So now I've just gone ahead to bring my front fabric, and I'm just going to arrange this properly. But before then, I also want to iron this my fabric again to get the center of this dress. Okay, so I'll just place them right side facing each other this way, fold them into two, arrange back the sleeve areas. Please note that I'm working on the front pieces alone for now. I folded it into two this way, and I'm just going to go ahead and iron this out. This is just to give me that center design in front, so that we'll be able to know where to place our design, like the Aso Oke design in front of it. So make sure you iron this out properly to give you, is it ghetto line they call that, but just iron everything out to have a very neat work. All right, so this is just what I'm doing here. I hope this video was helpful. If you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, tell me what you are still waiting for. Go ahead and hit on the subscribe button, and please turn on that notification bell so you'll be forced to get notified whenever I drop another interesting video. So I've gotten the line, and I've gone ahead to open this up again. All right, so I've opened it up again. You can see it here, even without me telling you, you can see it here clearly that I've gotten the center of my fabric. Now the next thing I'll do is to bring my Aso Oke. I'll bring my Aso Oke design and place on it. All right, so I'll bring it this way, place it directly on that line, on the ghetto line. Is it ghetto line they call it? So just make sure you design it, but before then, make sure you bring out your your lining, the one we use to turn our neckline. All right, so bring it out this way. Can you see? You bring it out this way and then you pin. You're going to pin this following your neckline and following the line. All right, so pin it, iron it down, and you take it to your sewing machine and top stitch on it. So when you get to this point, it will look as if it is like folded. Don't worry. Just follow your neckline and the center line we made earlier, like the ghetto line we had on the center of our dress. Just follow it carefully. Can you see? Follow it carefully and make sure you pin it down. But what you will do is, while you pin, just make sure you arrange it properly. So I'm just cutting off the excess I have here. All right, so cut away that excess. So when you stitch, when you pin, make sure you arrange this very well before you pin it down. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just using my pins to secure it as well, making sure that I arrange it to stay perfectly on the dress before I pin. Okay, and I'm pinning this on both sides. All right, so follow this process here. Arrange everything neatly. Make sure everywhere is straight before you pin. All right, so make sure it is straight before you pin. Next, you are going to go over to your sewing machine and top stitch on these areas. You top stitch on these areas. Make sure your stitches are very neat. But before you top stitch on it, you are going to first work on the neckline area. For the neckline area, you are going to top stitch on the back of your dress, following these allowances here. On these areas where we turned our neckline, you're going to open it up and follow this stitch to stitch it inward. All right, so you're not going to stitch it outside, just stitch it inward, and do same for this other side here. So when you're done with that, you're then going to go ahead and top stitch on the rest. Okay, make sure before you stitch, you're going to bring out the lining we use to turn our neckline. Just bring it out before you stitch, because we are going to use that later to turn our shoulders. This is how it's already looking, and this is how beautiful it looks. Once you're done top stitching this, you're now going to bring your back pieces and place them right side facing each other. So this is how it looks after I was done top stitching mine. So I'm going to now bring my back fabric and I'll place them right side facing each other. Okay, so go ahead and place it right side facing each other just like this. All right, so this is the back pieces here. I'm going to place it right side facing each other this way. All right, so make sure you aligned everything, place them correctly. Okay, so place it very well. Now the excess I have here, the excess Aso Oke I have at the top, I'm just going to cut it off. So I'll cut it off this way, and I'll do same thing for this other side. Cut off the excess Aso Oke I have at the top area along the shoulder areas here. I'll cut it off, and this is what we have. So now for the back, to join the shoulders, you are now going to arrange everything. Please pay attention to this part. It can be a little bit confusing. So you are going to bring the front, all right, and then bring the back like this, and then use the lining for the back to turn the front. Like the lining for the back, turn it over to the front pieces like this, and then go ahead and pin it down. If you follow this method along the shoulder area, it's going to look as if like all the seams are just going to be inside. It will come out very beautiful. So I'll also pin down this area here, just in case you don't understand what I did here. I'll repeat same thing for the other side as well. All right, so on this other side, I'm also going to pick the front pieces this way and then bring the back. Now for the back lining that we use to turn out our neckline, I'm going to place them exactly on that shoulder line and then use this back lining to turn to the front this way, and I'll use my pin to pin it down. I hope you understand now. Now you're going to hold it down with your pin just like this. Make sure you arrange everything very well this way. Can you see? Arrange them very well, and then you're going to go over to your sewing machine, stitch them down with 1/2 inch. So this is what I have after I was done. You can see how neat the inside looks. You see how neat it looks. If you follow that method, it's going to come out very neat like this, and this is how the inside looks. So we are going to work on that inside later. It's kind of rough right now. We'll work on it later. So this is how beautiful everything here came out. You see how neat and beautiful everything looks. So to work on the inside, so it's not looking very rough, I'm just going to turn it over to the wrong side like this and then iron out everything. I'll iron out everything and also use my hemming gum to secure this in place. So first I'm going to make sure I iron this out. All right, just take your time to like give your dress that finished look. So iron it out this way. If you watch this far and you haven't subscribed, please do well to hit on the subscribe button. Please turn on the notification bell. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments section. Let me know if this video was helpful. So I'm going to now iron it out, and then this is my hemming gum. I'll put it inward just like this. I'll put it inward just like this and then use my iron to secure it. All right, so I'll continue doing like this until it gets to the front side, and of course until I have a beautiful look. So guys, this is what I have after I was done. I went ahead to use the leftover Aso Oke to pipe the sleeve areas here, but the Aso Oke wasn't enough, so the leftover I used it to also design this other sleeve, which I'm going to be I'll work on it later. So the Aso Oke wasn't enough and I just need to, like, you know, manage what I had. So I've turned this over to the wrong side and we are just going to close up the side. All right, and to do that, remember we have our pocket areas here, so make sure you arrange everything, arrange the pocket areas this way. All right, so you arrange everything correctly. Now you go over to your machine and you're going to stitch this way. When you get to this pocket area, lift your machine up and then turn it over like this and stitch it downward. So I'll say it again: stitch through to this point, go this way, stitch it downward. You're going to repeat same thing for this other side as well. Every other thing you did for the other side, you do it to this side as well. This is my final look. This is what I had. This is what I have after I was done. I was so in love with this dress. Like, it came out very, very beautiful. I can't wait to rock this to church because I actually made this for myself. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you've learned something today. Please leave a comment for me in the comment section. Let me know if you'll be trying this. Please do well to also share this video to your friends. All right, save someone out there, because I feel like there's someone out there that needs to see this. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next one. Bye.